Hello and welcome to the new news team with
Edward Wilson Buttockface
and Tim. Firstly, in the news.
So here's what's happening in the lower upper northern hemisphere tonight. Time has been found to be going backwards. Experts at Tyne and Wear University, after viewing the clock under controlled environment, found the hands to be progressing in a backwards motion, which, aside from resulting in far more accurate bus and train timetables, has completely upset the dynamic of urban Britain. Edward.
The tranquility of Buckingham Palace has been shattered today after a headless duck was found bursting into Her Majesty's chamber rooms. It was found remarking, "You Nazi!" The allegations were later found to be true by Buckingham Palace.
Elsewhere, a train driver from Brazil was found dead this morning after mistakenly running himself over with his own train. Similar incidents have been popping up all over the place, even as far as the North Pole, where the tragic figure of Santa Claus was found broken and blooded underneath his own sleigh.
Even Santa got a slaying then.
You could say that, Edward.
Yeah, you could say. Yeah,
You said it. You said it. As new evidence appears of global cooling, more and more fish everywhere are finding themselves running completely out of water. Over in the news house is Edward with some Buttockface. So, Edward,
Tim,
is this global climate scare leaving us all like a little bit like a fish out of water, maybe? What do you reckon? Fish out of water. What do you
yes,
think?
Tim.
What does you and your fish think? Fish. Apparently, it's actually
yes.
Legal to have sex with a fish on a beach in California, which leads you to believe that at one time or another there must have been a serious problem with it. People having sex with fish everywhere.
Yeah.
Orgies on a beach. Fish orgies? Yeah. What does your fish think? What do you think?
Could say something fishy was going on, Tim.
you joke. So over to you and your fish.
Yeah, Tim. Tim, all we can do to slow the global freeze down and stop the polar ice caps from consuming the whole planet is to drink far less and turn the heating up. Goldfish like Freddy everywhere are worried about the diminishing supplies of water. When I interviewed him earlier, he was too shocked to properly speak. So then, Freddy, really? Is it time to start flipping out? Yeah, that is very true. No, you didn't. No. So, Freddy, I hear you're soon to become a fish out of water, huh? So then, Freddy, can you see hope and an end to this crisis? I know. Real words spoken by a real fish and real crisis. If the water levels at the poles continue to freeze at the rate in which they are, Freddy the fish will be more valuable than the gold he was once named after and thought to have contained. Sorry, I'm gonna have to interrupt you. We're going straight over to the studio. Tim, you've got breaking news for us. Tim? Tim? Hello, Tim. Oh, it's the bloody system cut.
Whoa there, Edward. I'm gonna have to stop you there because this just in. Supplies of disinfectant have completely run out of stock tonight in the capital, after scenes from 28 days later have unexpectedly and most unwelcomely started to come to life. Panicking civilians have done all they can to try and cure the infected by smothering with baby wipes and Dettol. Sadly, this has done nothing to alleviate the situation and has seemed to only make it worse. Oh, you taking the chair?
Need the chair. Cheers, mate.
So more on that as it comes in. Edward, back to you and those fish.
We need the table as well, mate.
Oh, you're taking the...
Do you reckon he gives a hand?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's ours as well, mate.
If I get this in.
Yeah, if you...
Edward, keep it rolling, lad. Keep it rolling. Back to you and the fish.
Thanks, Tim. Having a bit of trouble in the studio there, but back to the fish story. With the global cooling epidemic on the increase, more and more of the Atlantic Ocean is finding itself in containers like these. Scientists believe that by 9 o'clock this evening, the Atlantic Ocean will have been stripped bare by panicked buyers desperate to grab a slice of the action, meaning bad news for little fish like Freddy. Back to the studio, Tim. And that was me with my report earlier on Freddy the fish, who unfortunately was found this morning floating in his own bodily fluid. Not too good for Freddy there. Now over to Dave. They're not taking Dave and the. Well, we was going to go over to Dave and the weather desk, but apparently budget cuts by our company has meant that Dave and the weather desk has to be repossessed. So we're going to go over. Have we still got the footage? Yes, so we're going to go over to the footage we shot earlier of Tim, and his review about young people and living in their own filth. Over to you, Tim.
Yes, Edward, it's true. Youth today are literally living within their very own filth. I've been invited here to a house in Bolton by a mother whose renegade child is literally becoming a headache for the EPA. Stats taken by important people behind desks indicate a staggering 30 million % increase in the general collection of rubbish and grime, and shows no sign of slowing down anytime soon. After a hefty beating round the face with a VCR had been properly administered, 23% of people admitted that they felt comfortable or at home when they knew that there was an unfathomably large mess close at hand. Around 36% of people said that they felt a little uncomfortable, scared or even insecure when they were around a nice looking, clean or organised environment, and a whopping 91% were not even able to reply to this inquiry because we had in fact found them rotting away in a pile of their own filth. Back to you in the studio, Ed.
That was Tim, and his quite breathtaking piece on youths and living in their own filth. Is it true? 30 billion % a minute increase on people living in their own filth.
I have to correct you slightly there, Ed, but it was 30 million %. Figures from the university, the science department of Chicago University. Yeah, a staggering. It's quite a scary
almost
concept.
Sorry, Tim. I'm getting some breaking news through at the moment that your wife and kids have. Yeah, your wife's left you, and she's going to take the kids. I'm really sorry, Tim.
Can I speak to her?
No, she's off the line. I've also got news coming through our presenter. We're losing sound, apparently. We haven't got the budget for the sound. Tim, show without being able to, the viewers hearing what we're... Tim.
I don't know. There's nothing. We've got nothing.
No, but they're taking the camera, Tim.
Oh no, there's a man in. There's a plant.